Welcome to More Action, the podcast for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals. I'm your host, Sheley Brien, and together we have candid conversations with industry leaders to uncover valuable wisdom and lessons learned. My hope is you use these lessons to intentionally take more action in business and life. I hope you share and enjoy. Well, here we are with the start of something new. But in reality, it's funny, changing the name of the show, I'm going to share, did not come easy, but it was something that needed to happen. And while I say this is like day one, it's really not day one. I've been here before, right? Starting the podcast just over a year ago, not really knowing what I'm doing, taking kind of messy action every single day. So it's new, but I have a lot more experience under my belt. And I know that this has happened many more times in my life, career, all of the above. And one thing that I was reflecting on this change and why I wanted to make it and what was the purpose and all of this, because it's not like it's just like this easy name change. There's a lot that goes into it, especially when you've already built a brand around it and something that I'm known for, right? Health. But one thing holds true, no matter what, is that action creates change. And so I had to take action, or else I really wouldn't be true to everything that I've done in my past. And I wanted to take today's episode. This is March 1st, 2 days before my birthday, and here we are, more changes again, like welcome 40s. You just want to keep making changes because you're growing a ton. So with that, why the name change? And it's really because the mission has changed. Conversations have changed. Oh, and by the way, I've changed. And it's because of the action that I've taken over the last year that has allowed me to be in the position where I am now. And the business of being healthy, that name was everything. I was like, oh my gosh, business, health, two things together. I'm so passionate. If you're new to the show, I'm blind in my left eye because I didn't take care of my health when I was building business before. Invite you to go back, listen to some of those episodes. But it's like that title, as much as I loved it and it was like everything, it just didn't fit anymore. It's kind of like I don't know about you guys, but I've been in that position in a career before where I was like, wow, this doesn't fit anymore. I got to do something, take action. Relationship, business, professional, personal, what have you. Relationship, wow, this doesn't fit anymore. I got to do something. I just did last year, I had a whole wardrobe overhaul because stuff just didn't fit me and who I had become. And it's so funny, right? Like you think about like change can be, I did a whole episode on like change is scary and it's hard. And I think about like, breaking up with my old name. It's not you, it's me. And the reality is I've wanted to make this name change since December. I started feeling it. It was the conversations I was having with the guests, the conversations I'm having out running the construction company, meeting incredible people, business owners, professionals. I just absolutely love it. And I've just been holding it back. And there's a few reasons. One, first off, I had no idea how to do it. How do I change the name of a podcast? How do I set everything up on the back end? How do I rebrand? How do I roll it out? How do I do all these things? And all these like how-tos were holding me back. You know what else was holding me back? The fact that I was like, oh, great. Everyone's going to be like, cool. Sheley started this podcast and then now she's changing it. Who does she think she is? So it's not even like imposter syndrome. It was just fear of judgment of what others would think of me was inhibiting me from taking action. Now that you think about it and you start taking action, that just pisses me off to begin with. And one thing, I just had this conversation today with a friend, is that I looked back and there have been so many times where I've started over. I didn't have a fear of failing. I had a fear of what other people would say and judge. So I would quietly fail. Now I'm like, let me just fail out loud. Failing is not a bad thing. I figured out what didn't work really quick now. That's one thing. As you get older, you figure it out, you take it, you learn the lesson, make sure it's the right lesson, and then move on, apply what you learn. And I've been here before. And so in December, I was like holding back and I was doing my same thing of, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I can't move forward. What if, what, all this other stuff. And I was like, wait, when have I been here? When I launched it, when I launched the media company, when I bought into a restaurant and I never owned a restaurant before, when I jumped into construction, no background in construction. When I went into finance, no background. I've been here before. And so I found the proof in my past to give me the strength to go forward. And all it was taking the next best step. What was the next best step on action that I needed to do to implement to get me closer to where I want to be? Whether that was developing who I was, my mindset, my health, relationships, meeting people, all of the above, being a better mom, a better leader, all of it. What is the next action that's going to get me there? And here we are, is that I finally set a date, March 1st. And I was like, all right, I know all these things I need to do. Let me get started. As I got started, I was like, oh, forgot about that, need to handle that, and got all of that taken care of. And so I am incredibly excited to be able to share more action now with you. And we're going to, action, the word, you're going to hear this a lot in a really good way because action creates change and we are meant to change. If you are stagnant, you're not in a healthy place. I know that might sound like very definitive, but I've been there before when I wasn't taking action. And I know that feeling. And even uncertain action is better than no action. And so here on the show, our mission has grown and it's to uncover, it's to share, it's to find the unnoticed or unrecognized actions by those who are excelling at life and business. Now, how do we define excelling? What does that mean? For me and for this show is that they haven't given up. They are doing the things that others told them they could not. They are the one in their family that everyone said was crazy. And yet there they are. It's not like they easily walked up the slope and got there. I'm sure they failed quite a few times, like I know I have. And so we are going to be continuing to bring you 2 episodes a week, including incredible interviews with professionals, experts, gurus, those who not only believed in themselves, but they also took more action to achieve the success that they desired. Because I'm sorry, but you can sit and say your mantras in the corner all you want, but ultimately you have to take action. Now, I really want this. My goal, there's like 10 years down the road. This is where you need to be now, but just wait till you see what's coming with this show. How I'm going to evolve my skills so that I can be better for you. Now, I want this to be your first choice when you want a straightforward business podcast that explores the actions that will drive the results to actually get what you desire. No more dopamine hits, no more little checks, no more pressure from other people. Let's find out what is really working. And more often than not, it's not what everyone touts on social media or says when they first meet somebody. I'm going to help bring those out of my incredible guests that we are going to have on. Now, remember, I think if you've ever listened to my past career, it is the most unconventional thing out there. Yet where I am right now, if I didn't have all that unconventional craziness in my career, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing at the level that I am. So when you have that uncertain feeling and you don't want to do it. Maybe you were like me and like, screw this. Everyone's going to judge me. I want you to remember you just got to keep taking more action. And it might be the wrong action, but at least you're taking action. And that's the most important part. No path is alike. And yet there are turns along the way which may look similar. So we are going to be sharing these experiences, tips, strategies with really open conversations and raw compassion so that we can all win. It's not either or. You pull one little thing from an experience of one of our incredible guests that we are going to have on. That is a huge win. That could be the change for you. So I got to tell you, when you tune in, you better get ready to take more action. Now, as you can imagine, with a rebrand, if you saw on your podcast app, whether you were on Spotify or maybe you're over on YouTube or on Apple, I have a whole new image, whole new name. And this podcast couldn't be where it is without you. And so with that, I just got to say thank you and please keep sharing. Get this new name out there so that we attract people just like us. And it helps find incredible guests that we can bring on and uncover. Now, one thing that I absolutely love doing is learning from others and interviewing people in all walks of life that are excelling, like I explained. We will find out these tips. We will find out what separated them so that you can apply them in the way for your life. So again, please share, buckle up, because get ready. We're going to take some more action.